Alright, good morning, guys. So today is looking a little bit better. Seems like we're getting a little bit more movement in the market into pre-market trading, which is nice. It's looking a little bit better than the last time we did a live stream here. So far, what I'm looking at right now is CHFS. And remember, I'm not here to tell you exactly what you guys need to play. I'm just here to show you what I'm looking at and the reasons why I'm looking at them. CHFS just had some FDA approval. Their stock is moving up. Pre-market itself, it's up about 50%. Well, it moved up 50%. Right now, it rests at about 23%. Volume starting to pick up, so that's a good indicator. We want a lot of volume. We want stocks that are moving up pre-market. Not only that, we're trying to see if these stocks are forming any patterns. Right now, CHFS doesn't have a real clean pattern right now. If I were to play this, I might want to play the break of the pre-market high, or just wait to see what it starts doing when the opening bell rings and see if any sort of pullbacks start to occur. That's what I really like to play. I love playing pullbacks. They usually tend to do pretty good. Another one that I have on my radar that I think will probably be the one that I'm going to trade is SPEX. Just alone in pre-market, it shot up like, I don't know, 54% or something like that. And now we're resting at about, we're up something like, we're up 56%, sorry. 56% right now in pre-market trading. So something like that, it's really strong. There's a ton of volume coming into it. This was one that just recently made moves yesterday. So a lot of times, stocks that make moves the previous day and hold those highs going into aftermarket and pre-market hours tend to make a run into the next day. Not all the time, but sometimes. So that's particularly why I'm watching this stock. And not only that, if you look, maybe I'll use a 5-minute chart. You might see some patterns better. But alone, just in the pre-market trading here, it's starting to form good patterns. It's starting to form pullbacks, and the stock is continually going up. So right now it's uptrending. Now this doesn't mean you can just go ahead and play it right out of the gates. We're going to want to wait and see what it does when the market opens. But I already have orders ready to go on SPEX, and I think I have one ready to go on CHFS. Now this one's a little bit lower price, going to be way more volatile, has a really low float. So something like this, playing the opening bell can be a little risky, but that's why we're going to wait and see what the market tells us to do, and we're going to make the best decision we can based on what we're presented, and we're going to go from there. So these are particularly the two stocks that I really have eyes on. There's a lot of talk right now. We got about 4 minutes till the bell opens, and we're going to see what we can do here. RAD, Rite Aid, tons of news out on it recently with its merger deal or whatnot, or being bought out, something along those lines. But this one just dumped down. A lot of people have this on watch right now. Now, me personally, I like to play a lot of lower price stocks. So I may not be looking at a lot of the stocks that you guys are looking at if you're playing stocks within the 12 to 20, 30, $100 range. I particularly like to play low price stocks that are pretty volatile. They can move really quickly. I like to get in and out of stocks. That's just my particular way of trading. So if that's not something that you like to do, it is what it is. Everyone's got their own style. So personally, what I like to see happen on CHFS is out of the gates, I'd like to see maybe a spike and then a pullback, maybe a 1-minute pullback, and then I could get in off of that. If it doesn't happen on the 1-minute chart, I'd rather see it on the 5-minute. Me personally, I like 5-minute pullbacks more than I do 1-minute pullbacks. They tend to be a little bit more obvious to spot, and they're a little bit easier to get in and out of. Just because the pattern's much more clear, and usually the 5-minute pullbacks have a lot better follow-through than 1-minute micro pullbacks. Am I using a margin account? So we'll see. TROV was another one that moved up pre-market. Let's see if we have anything else moving up that's not up here already. So SPEX is up 71% right now. TROV is up 16%. I have that on my watch list. NXTD is up 14%. I can check that one out real quick. I looked at it earlier, but it didn't look very good to me. So yeah, it's still chopping around a bit, and there's just not a lot of volume on it right now. So it's not something I'd probably be interested in playing. Not to say that it can't do really well. Just right now it doesn't look good. So that's another thing. If stocks don't look good at one particular time, doesn't mean they're not going to take off within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see, HUSA. So right now, personally, I'm going to keep a watch on which one do I want to have up. I might do. Let's see, the patterns don't look very good here right now. So I'm probably going to go ahead and I'm going to keep SPEX on my watch. Now, if it broke above 475 today, that'd be awesome. That was its pre-market high. I highly doubt that it's going to get that high. It could. There's no telling what it's going to do. But right now, I'm looking to see some patterns form out of the gates on SPEX. The psychological resistance would be right at about $3.50. Then the next one would be $4. So you're tending to see resistance points right around the 350, 325s, $4 whole dollar marks, half-dollar marks. That's just the way it is. It's like a psychological game in the market. For whatever reason, there just likes to be resistance right around those points. Okay, so Adam Weber just mentioned that Walgreens pulled out of the Rite Aid buyout, so that could be a reason as to why they're dumping down right now, which would make sense. And if anybody's interested in high-priced stocks, Staples might be a good one. I forgot the company. It's like Sycamore or something like that, but they're looking at potentially buying over Staples for I think it was like $6.1 billion. So their stock's moving up crazy right now with a ton of volume. So if you're into higher price stocks, that might be a good one to check out. Check out Staples. You might find that interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and cool it right now. We're going to wait. We got about 40 seconds till the market opens. And I'm not going to rush anything. I want to see some patterns form. Obviously, I want something to happen quickly so you guys can kind of see me playing right away. But, I'm not going to rush anything. That's just stupid. You want to take your time and be focused and really watch for the patterns occur and the right entry points. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so let's just go ahead and get into it. Got about 15 seconds. So right now we look, here we go. Okay, bell's open. CHFS looks like it's running. Okay. SPEX still at 330. And if the ones that I'm watching just don't turn out to, do what I want them to do, I'll just wait for something to pop up on my intraday scanner, and then I'll go from there, which I actually got to pull up. Okay, so we're getting movement, SPX. Let's go back. No movement there. CHFS, DCTA. So right now, the ones that I'm looking at aren't particularly making the moves, and that's okay, because I can run my intraday scanner, and if I'm seeing patterns occur there, then I'll just hop in on one of those guys. Doesn't look like it's forming there. SPX is selling off. GoPro's running up, so this could be one where you want to get in on a pullback. TROV, not doing much. UMC, no. So GoPro could be a potential right now. So right now we're starting to form a 1 minute pullback. I like 5 minute better, but I could settle for a 1 minute. I mean, that's okay. HUSA. HTBX, okay. HTBX could be one if we can get a break above the pre-market high, or not pre-market, but the intraday high of yesterday's trading. This could definitely make moves, so I'm going to go ahead and get an order ready to go in for this guy, just in case. What's GoPro doing? Okay, so GoPro couldn't sustain the 1 minute pullback. It's now selling off. This could be something where you look to get in. Even the 5 minute chart doesn't look good right now, so I wouldn't even worry about it. SPEX is still selling down. Not interested right now. HTBX. Okay, so it broke above the high of yesterday, but it couldn't sustain it so far. It has a nice spread. The spread is only not even a penny, a little less than a penny. So that's good. You won't get a lot of slippage there getting in and out of an order. You'll practically get exactly what you want to get out of the order if you put in an order. Alright, now we're getting movement here. NXTD. Okay, so NXTD is making some moves right now. Dang, that's unfortunate. That would have been something I'd like to play. So NXTD looks kind of promising right now. This is one I'm going to continue to watch and just wait for the perfect entry point, and hopefully I get it. Betty, the entry point for HTBX was a break above the high of yesterday's trading, but it wasn't able to sustain that high, which happens on breakouts sometimes, and it is what it is. So, I don't know. I'm not looking at that one anymore, but NXTD is moving up significantly right now, and it's okay. You know, I like to play a pullback, and there's not one occurring right now in the 1 minute or the 5 minute. It's just going up. So, we'll just wait and see. And that's the thing, is you just can't, you know, you cannot win them all right out the gates, and that happens. And when that does happen, you can't run around trying to chase it. Like, I could have bought in this at, 221 and, rode it up and sold out for a quick scalp, but there's no telling it was going to continue up. So now I'm going to look for the sell-off, and then I'm going to look for a pullback entry, and that would be good. And if I don't get any right now, that's all right, and I'll just wait until later into the trading day, to see there's something I like. Chasing stocks is probably the worst thing you can do, because you a lot of times will get caught right on the tippy top, and then you'll catch the sell-off. For example, let's see, we keep going up, 243, so the bid. So right now, the only downside to this is NXD has a, holy cow, it's been going, doesn't have the best spreads right now. There's about a 4-cent spread. And now we have this long upper shadow or upper wick, so that makes the 5 minute pullback a little less reliable. SPEX looks like it might be making moves back up. It could be making a red to green move here. But the volume's starting to die down on this one, so. What else do we have in here? TROV. Okay, TROV could be doing something here. I'd have to see a break. It is breaking the VWAP, but it doesn't look promising right now, so I'm going to go back to NXTD. So SPEX is going back up. It just made a red to green move. Now this is where I would wait to get in on a pullback. Okay, so NXTD is not forming a clear pullback right now, and it's kind of curling on the top, to be honest. Now this one has a 1 cent spread right now, so that's not bad. Now it's down to 2 cents. I really want to see a 5-minute pullback. 5-minute pullbacks are key, but I'm not getting one right now. So right now this has to break the high of 244 to get a continuation. Right now it's seeing a little bit of resistance, which isn't a good sign. So you need to get that break of 244. We're now going. So we're having a lot of there's a lot of fighting going on right now between the bulls and the bears to break over 244 mark. So like I could have hopped in on that right there to break above the like this 1 minute pullback. You know, I could have hopped in right there to break above the previous high of the red candle, but I mean, as you can see, it didn't get a strong move. It broke above it, then came right back down, and that's because a lot of times 1 minute pullbacks just aren't as strong. So I'm definitely looking to play a 5-minute pullback, which looks like it might be occurring. Okay, so we're getting this big green candle, and now the next 5-minute candle has turned red. So this could be the start of a good 5-minute pullback on SPEX. We're starting to go red. I would like to see a red candle, not an extremely big candle, but I'd like to see a red candle, maybe another red candle that opens a little lower, kind of forming a little downward movement, bringing us a little closer to the 9 moving average. And then we want to see the third candle go green and break above the previous high of the red, and that would be my entry point for SPEX. So let's see if we can get that to happen. NXTD is still not doing it. It could be forming. Might be forming a 5-minute pullback, actually. Also have to keep flipping through there. Back to SPEX. I know a lot of you may think like, oh, you could have caught that on the way up. You could have caught the whole move. Yeah, I could. I could have caught some of this if I was looking at the right time for all these moving averages to break and then the break above the VWAP. I could have played that. With that being said, I wasn't on the stock at the right time, and right now I'm just being patient, and I think that's a lot of things that a lot of problems that people might run into is chasing stocks and being pretty impatient. The market's not going anywhere. The market's going to be here and here for a long time, and having patience is honestly key, and that's the best way you get into stocks and play the best setups. You play the best, and you just don't play the rest. You play the best setups, and that's how you're going to be a consistent winner. And that's exactly what I would like to do here is just wait for that perfect entry, which I possibly could have missed a couple, in other stocks because I'm only paying attention to one right now. But it is what it is. Okay, let's see if we have anything else moving on our scanner. HUSA. Okay, so HUSA has been on a continuous uptrend for the past couple days. This could be a good play today. I would personally like to see a break above the $1 mark today. That would be ideal. If we could get a break through the $1 mark, then it might have a big opportunity for a price jump there. Let's see what people are saying in the group chat here. Just took a huge dip. So really, everyone's just throwing out questions right now in the group chat. There's just really not a definite answer as to which ones we should be playing right now. And that's all right. It is what it is. Sometimes it is that way. SPEX, back to you. Still not doing what I want you to do. Just took a huge dump. So, for example, you see that right there, right? You could have chased it. You could have ran it all the way up. Let's say you hopped in somewhere around here when you saw that it was just going to keep going. You would have went up, 6-7%, which ain't bad. You could have scalped it, and then you would have got caught in this huge dump. And now you're breaking below the VWAP. Technically, we're now in a downtrend. You'll probably see a little mini bounce come. There's a little mini bounce. And now this chart is just trash. There's nothing appealing about this chart anymore. Now I would just move on. This could come back and be something good later, but right now it's practically trash. We had a big green 5-minute candle, and the next 5-minute candle practically engulfed the whole green candle, which means, well, that's basically just a really bad sign. Now I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'll just continue to move along and look at some other things and see if I can find some plays along the way. So this could be forming a good 5-minute pullback. Okay, it's a little extended than what I would like, but we have these green candles moving up, and then on our 5-minute chart, we got the 2 red candles that are starting to pull back and bring us right to the volume weighted average price. Now I'm looking. We have quite a little bit of time. We got about another 4 minutes till the 5-minute candle appears, and then I would like to see it break above this high, but only if this candle does not become too big. If the candle completely drops down, we could be looking at a bad 5-minute setup. And as you can see on the 1-minute chart, it represents that the stock is selling off greatly. We've broken the VWAP, we've broken the 9 moving average, so now we're technically in a downtrend. So that's not a good sign. And like I said, I'm a day trader. I like to trade breakouts. I like to trade pullbacks, gap and goes, and all that sort of thing. So I'm not the type of dude that'll enter in a stock for a swing trade the whole day. I find a setup on the spot, put my order in, and I get out. Most of my trades are literally 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes long, and that's it. Very quick in and out, and I take my money and I run. So SPX is just not looking hot right now. CHFS, that was the one I had on watch earlier today. It's not doing anything. It's broken the VWAP. We're in a downtrend. HUSA, we're right at 97 cents. Okay, this could be something interesting right here. But the volume is just not heavy right now. So that means we might not get the follow through we need. But I honestly, I might get an order ready for HUSA right now. I will play HUSA and I will take it and I will run with it if I can get a break above $1. And it's really going to be frustrating if that $1 mark does not hold and, I get stopped out. I will play HUSA if I can get a break above $1. $1 is a key resistance point. If we can break through that, that would be phenomenal, and then I'll play it. And as you can see, we're just forming a nice uptrend on HUSA where we're making higher lows. So we're starting to make higher lows, okay? So every time the stock starts to sell off, it's not selling off as much, and now we're creating this uptrend in which we call an ascending triangle, and I'll just draw it out for you. So now what we're drawing is an ascending triangle where the trend is upwards, but we have maybe like a flat top. That's what we call an ascending triangle. We just got the break of $1. I want to see if it can sustain. So I just put an order in to go long on it. Now I want to see if we can sustain this move, and I'm already going to get ready to sell all my shares. I got them ready to go. So right now the bid is 101, ask is 102, so now we moved up to 103, but that's not a strong candle. Now we go red. I will keep a stop loss. Maybe, the stop loss could be a break below 99 cents or maybe 98 cents. So right now I'm in HUSA. I just went long with the break over $1. I'm going to keep my stop maybe a little bit below 99 cents because that was where we just broke out from. That will now become a key resistance point. Come on, baby, keep running. $1 breaks are huge. I just don't know if this one's going to make that big move I'm looking for, but I'm really hoping so. So right now I'm only up about 1% because it's just not moving enough. We really need this thing to start moving. And I just stopped out. I'm out of the order. It was a failed breakout attempt, and it just did not go, the way I wanted. And that is what it is. It's okay. So a little frustrating. It's all right. So I played the break of $1. We moved up to 104. I was up 1 cent or like 1%. Not a lot. So I seen it turning against me. So I just stopped out. And it is what it is. And it could continue to keep going. But I wasn't going to risk breaking that 99-cent mark and then just having it tank. And by the looks of it, it doesn't look like it's going to make that move that I want it to. So for those of you watching, I just played the break of $1, and it did not have that move we were looking for. I was looking for the break of $1 to go up, and then we'd have that nice, upward momentum. And it just didn't sustain, so I just hopped out real quick, and I took a small loss. Let's see, what did I go down? So I lost $7.62, so not a lot of money. I stopped out with less than a 2% loss, stopped out with a 1.59% loss, so little above 1.5% loss. And that's what it comes down to is when the trades don't go your way or the way you're expecting to, you just get out. If the breakout fails, you just hop out and you take a small loss rather than holding and holding and holding and hoping for it to go back up, and then you end up running into a big loser. So, for example, there was my thought process. I hopped in for a $1 break. It didn't sustain. I hopped out very quickly. That way I wasn't losing. Sure, I could have took my profits at 1% or when I was up almost 2%, close to. But this thing had the potential to keep going, and that's what I played it for. It didn't go my way, so I stopped out with a very small loss, and that's what it comes down to is risk management. How are you going to risk? And how well you manage your risk is all it comes down to in trading. So yeah, I missed the trade. It didn't go the way I wanted to. I got out, stopped out with a small loss, and I'm completely fine with that. You know, it sucks to have a loser, but as long as see, look at it. You see what I'm saying? Watch this thing. It'll probably start going down. Okay, so if it continues to go down, look at that. Boom. You see how it's dropping now? If I would have held that, I would be down 8% now, 10%, something like, I don't know exactly, but something like that. And so that's what it comes down to, is risk management. If the trade does not go your way, as soon as you see it forming, you have to get out, okay? That's all it comes down to, is risk management. And so how well you can manage your risk is going to determine how well of a trader and how successful you can be when it comes to trading. So like I always say, don't always trade based on how I trade. You have to figure out what works best for you. I played HUSA today. I saw the $1 break. Didn't go my way. I got out, and you know, it is what it is. And I'm really happy with that because I practiced very good fundamental rules about risk management. And so if I can continue to show you guys how to do this correctly, or you know, how to manage your risk, I'm completely happy with that. So I think I'm going to end it there for the live stream today. I hope that helps some of you guys just to see how I go through my day. As you can see, I didn't see any particular patterns I liked right away, but I did see a $1 break potential on HUSA. Went to play it, didn't go as planned, and that's all right. And you know, and there's another thing that I should have spotted that I actually didn't, is right here on my 1 year, 1 day chart. This thing had a peak of 105, and you know, I wasn't even paying attention to that, and if I were, I wouldn't have taken the trade. But if you look down here where my cursor's at, in a 1 year, 1 day chart, this thing hit a high of 105 and then sold back down. We now have just reached that high of 105 at 104, and now we sold down. So that was honestly a mistake that I made in not paying attention to all my charts, and I would have noticed that a better play would have maybe been a break of 105. Okay, so that's my live stream for today. As always, thank you for joining. I hope you follow me on YouTube and so on and so forth. If you haven't, go over there, check it out. Got a ton of videos. But as for now, that's all I got for you guys. And I appreciate you guys joining in. On Sunday, I will be doing a Sunday stock review. Probably going to go over some of the hot stocks for the week, and that's probably what I'll tend to do. Or if you guys have any stocks you would like me to go over and potentially analyze, we can start implementing that. But Sunday will be a stock talk review, and then we're also going to do, or I'm going to be doing, a live stream every Monday. I'll be doing a live stream probably, I think the best days of live stream will probably be Monday when the market opens after the weekend. We usually get a lot of volume, and then I'll probably do another one on Wednesday. Seems to be a good day. I might fiddle them around. I don't know exactly, but probably Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I might make it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because a lot of times you'll get some big movers on Friday before the weekend. So I'm just trying to pick out the best days where there's the market itself has a lot of volume and a lot of good plays. And I tend to think that that is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Tuesday is usually a consolidation day, so I'm definitely not doing Tuesday. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday will be the live stream days for intraday trading. And then Sunday will be the stock talk review. And if you guys want me to go over some stocks, you know, that you think will be good for next week, or just review some that maybe a lot of people traded in the week, I would love to do that, so we can all kind of grow together and everyone can just basically just become better traders in general. There's so much potential and so much money to make in the stock market that, you know, no one should be losing out, or we should all have a good idea of how to trade, so that way we can become profitable traders. And the best way to do that is by learning to manage your risk, which was literally a perfect example of what I just did on this live stream. I didn't win, which would have been great to do for you guys. I did lose, but I did win at practicing the best rules you can, which is risk management. So that's the video for you guys today. I'm going to hop out and go do my thing for the rest of the day, probably upload this to YouTube. But for now, thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it.